first ever machining video. I've put up a load of crap up until now. Now, I've got materials. The only thing is, in Canada I am limited on tooling because I like to work in metric, and it's very hard, in fact almost impossible, unless you want a spanner, to get metric drills and metric taps and things like that. It's very difficult to find them in Canada. If I need them, I've got to order from China. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn you around now. I've got a rough plan and a rough sketch. I'm going to wing it because I'm making it with what I've got, and I'm mixing and matching because I'm not really good with imperial, and I'm having to look at my little steric conversion charts for everything I do, and I'm trying to get as close as I can to the size in imperial. For instance, if I want to do a thread, I'm getting as close as I can with an imperial drill so I can do a metric thread, because I'm totally metric in my head. My lathe is metric, but I am governed by imperial tools here in Canada, especially drills. You know, I don't know anywhere in Canada where you can buy a metric drill. You might get them from Princess Auto, but that's 45 minutes away from me. I'm not going to go there just to purchase a 10.4 or 10.7 or whatever millimeter drill bit, and I probably wouldn't get it anyway. You know, you'll get your single digit numbers, but you won't get fractionals or whatever you call them in, you know, your millimeter drill bits. Very, very difficult. Even on AliExpress, they're difficult. I've got a set of drill bits from AliExpress, 1, 2, 10, up to 10 millimeter. That's as high as I can go right now. But I've got a big set of Mastercraft drill bits, and it's just missing the fractions that you want. You've got the ones above and the ones below what the thread needs. So I'm working to the best I can with imperial hardware to try and produce a metric finish, if you know what I mean. Anyway, I'll show you around, I'll turn you around and I'll show you what I'm doing. Right, so these are the rods that I take out of printers. And this one is quite a chunky one, and I'm going to do it with this because, well, like Matty in Matt's workshop, I like shiny. So I've been out to my bandsaw and I've cut a section out of this big bar, and it's beautiful material. It's all precision. It's exact same measurements all the way around. It's for printers. They've got to be precise. So I've done a little sketch, and this is how it's going to proceed. I'm going to drill in as far as I can from one end with my 15/64 drill bit, and I'm going to flip it round and drill in as far as I can with my 10 millimeter drill bit, and this is one I brought with me from England. I somehow acquired it while I was in the army, say no more. And then I've got another piece of rod, and this rod is exactly 8 millimeters. Now I know I'm drilling this out 10 and it may rattle around a bit inside, but that's what I intend to use for the tap follow point. And that 15/64 is undersize of the 8 millimeter, and that's what will have my point on. And that's going to, the length of this is going to be determined on how successful I am with this, because I know I can't drill all the way through to it and get to where I want. So I'm going to go as far as I can with a 10 mil drill bit, which is why I'm coming in from this end first with a 15/64, and then I can do some measurements and then I can part off what I don't need. But this gets me started in the ballpark. So I'm going to set this up on the lathe, and I'm going to do my first ever drilling on the lathe. Like I say, I don't know what this material is. All I know is it's nice and shiny, and I believe it's quite hard. If you look at the bottom of it, it looks like it's had a bit of case hardening, but it definitely is machinable. And I just cut it on my bandsaw without any difficulties, so we'll give it a go. Oh, yeah, I could see my drill creeping back into the chuck. I think if I go slow, it starts to harden. So So I'm going to flip it round and I'm just going to plough in as fast as I can with my 10mm drill. Just taking my time. Don't think too much oil will be an issue. Looks like it's getting pretty hot. I'm not sure if the drill's any good. It doesn't seem to be evacuating the chips effectively. Wow, I think I've hit the soft patch. Wow, that is hard going. I don't know what that material is. It's not peeling off, it's crumbling. And I've just hit a soft patch, I think, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my pliers. I'm going to pull my drill bit out a bit and see if I can get a bit more into it. Another, I don't know, ½ inch or so. Right, well, it was hard work, but I think that was my first successful drill. It got really easy at the end there. I hope it hasn't wandered off and broken out the side somewhere. And that is going to be, I'm going to get my infrared heat test. I do not believe that is only 20 Celsius. Yeah, 25. It's not. No, one thing, it is very hot. I think I must have a cheap Chinese Mastercraft infrared heat sensor. I'm going to take it out, see how it looks. Right. Oh, I didn't break out the sides. Just leave it there to cool down. I'm going to have a cup of coffee and then I'll come back to you. Anyway, while we're waiting for that to cool down, I thought I'd show you this. This is what I ordered off eBay, and it came from India. It's a 6-inch rotary table. Comes with a tailstock holder and the indexing plates. And it was 360 Canadian dollars, $5 shipping, and I think I paid $42 import tax on it. And when I got it, I was like, I'm not impressed with that for that amount of money, not really. So I took a few photographs of it. I mean, I look in here and it looks like it's just got a bit of rust on it, but it's not. It's grease that's just tinged a bit. and there's a little scratch on here, on the base, and here. And there's a little bit of the casting not quite complete here. And there's a few bits of chip paint on it. Nothing that affects the wear of it, work of it, I don't think. And right here on the table there's a tiny little ding. So I took these photographs, and there's a scratch here on the, just above the dial here on the second hand. So I took, I think, 3, 4, 5 photos, and I sent it to the seller and said I wasn't happy. And he said to me, "Oh, I'm very, very sorry. It must have got damaged by the shipper." And it was that German company that begins with a D. And he said, "I'll send you spare parts to replace." So I didn't reply. And then a couple of days later, I got another email off him. He said, "I'm sending free of charge the spares for the rotary table." So I thought, okay, I'll wait. 6 days later, I got a call from my local post office, because I live in a box number. I'm only a mile from the main Trans-Canada highway, but I have a box number because I'm on a 5-acre rural lot. So we don't have post boxes, letter boxes in our front doors like they do in England. And so I went to the post office and I picked up the part. I said, "Who brought that?" And she said, "Oh, FedEx delivered it." Right, oh. So that's heavy for a spare part. They only sent me another one. So now I've got 2 of the buggers. I'm spoilt. So I was thinking I could sell this, because we've got a local auction coming up. I could sell this and make... But then I thought, you know what? Because I'm going to turn my mini lathe into a collet lathe, because I've got an ER32 collet chuck for it. I could put my little 4-inch 3-jaw chuck on here and leave it on permanent. And I could have the best of both worlds then. I wouldn't have to switch them out. But it means that I can't afford my DROs, because I want a DRO for each machine, because I'm absolutely crap at these zeros and digits that are on these dials. I have to stand and work them out sometimes for quite a while. I think about it. So that's 0.025 times 7, and you know, it's difficult for me to work out. I'm an old dog, and I'm just used to going from, oh, it's 3mm and it's 10mm and it's 1m70. I'm not used to going into the micron factor of it, or the thousandths of an inch factor of it, because although my lathe is metric, it's got metric and imperial dials, and I've got, if I want to turn it into an imperial lathe, I only have to change 1 gear in the side panel. And like I say, it can do tons of different threads that's all built into it with the gearbox. And to switch it to metric is a 2-minute job. It's swap 1 cog and away you go. Anyway, I'm going to finish my coffee, and then I'm going to get back to where I am and get going again. Right then, I've been having to think about this. I've been watching John's workshop again, and I'm thinking, why the hell am I going to try and work with this? This was the end piece I cut off this bar that was the whole printer bar. So, and this is a 10mm hole. I know I haven't chamfered the edges yet. I will do that, and I've got a 10mm reamer, so I'm going to run a 10mm reamer down here, and I've marked on it, this is where the tip of the drill came to, and this is where the end of the flutes came to. So what I'm going to do, and I've got my measurements here, is this is 12.65 millimeters in diameter. So I'm going to, and it's got another hole in here. This is where it was secured to one of the rails. So I'm going to use this bit. It's ideal. Just watching John's video again, you know, this is ideal. So I'm probably going to part off 2 or 3 millimeters to the south side of this line, and I've got my hole right through, and then I can hold this in my chuck, turn it down to 10 mil so that it slides in nicely. Then I can put my point on it and my shoulder and flip it round, because I'm going to try and copy the one John did. I'm not sure if I can do the same actual threading that he did in the end, but I think that's, once that bit's gone, I think that might be a good size. Yeah, I really do. And then if I can, I'm going to put an M12 in the end here. And I'll cut another bit of this off, and I'll make the screw cap that John did. Anyway, I'm going to put this back in the lathe, and I'm going to, because I didn't even face that off, I forgot about that, so I'm going to face that and chamfer it, and then I'm going to ream it, and do a couple of little break edging. I'll probably just use my genuine imitation Noga to do the inside of that, but I'm going to ream it first, and then I'll put this in the lathe. I'll do a few sharpy marks on it. I like Sharp's rifles. Anybody ever watch that? I've got it and I watch it all the time, the whole series. Must have watched it 20 or 30 times with Sean Bean. Well, it was a big thing when I was in the army and stationed in Germany, you know. We only had one channel, and that was BFBS, the British Broadcasting Service, or British Forces Broadcasting Service. And Sharp's Rifles was one of the weekly TV series that we watched. And yeah, I've got them all, and I think they're fantastic. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do, and I'll do this off camera. There's no point in showing you that. I'll come back when I'm ready to do this. Right. I'm going to do a wrap-up video because I had made 2 more videos. It was getting too long anyway, you know. It's going to be Christmas soon and I'm 60 next May. I'd have still been editing the bloody things. Anyway, I went ahead with the first piece and I turned it down to 10.01 millimeters, and I hit it exactly, and it fit perfectly. And then I turned down the first pin with it to put the point on it, and I hit that perfectly, 5.7 millimeters. I think it was. That was a conversion of that bloody 1930 seconds or whatever it was I was using. And then I put my chamfer tool in and I had it too high and I crashed. I went bright red and I shut the camera off and I went upstairs and I had a cup of coffee and I said, I'm not letting this bugger beat me. It's only, you know, I'm learning. So I came back down with another piece and I said, I'm not going to edit it out. I want to keep it all in so you can see I'm learning. And I turned another one and I changed my tool and I tested it that it was going to chamfer, and it was. And I got this one down, and when I went to put the chamfer on, it just snapped. And then when I look at it, the damn stuff looks like it's made of a composite, a powder. You know, like they make carbide inserts. They're just a powder that's pressed and heated, and I think that's what this is. because it just looks like powder. It looks like you've broken a piece of chalk. Anyway, so I came back down and I said, I'm not going to let it beat me. And I got another piece of steel or printer rail bar. Only this time I've turned the point first because I'm sick of the bloody thing breaking. And then I was thinking to myself, there is absolutely no way I'm going to be able to put a nail on this stuff. Absolutely no way. So I'll continue with the next video and I'll turn this down. It's got a hole through it, but it's kind of right on where the bit's going to be sectioned off that slides. And if it causes any issue, I'll just put JB weld in it and sand it down. You're not going to see it, it's going to be inside. Anyway, I'm no Steven Spielberg. It's going to take me days to edit this. It's Thursday, the 30th of September, and I think I might be able to put this out on Sunday. We'll see. And anyway, I got your subscription. Thanks, John. Yeah, I need help, mate. I need somebody to teach me how to bloody machine. But I'm having fun. It's a great laugh. I've made me stickers. That's all it's going to be. It's just a black and white. Like I say, I'm printing my own stickers. I got myself some glossy sticker paper from Amazon. $24 for 70 sheets. And this is just an A4 sheet. I can get 6 stickers on a sheet. You know, when I hit 1 million subscribers, I'm not going to be able to afford to send stickers out all the time. I haven't printed, so I'm printing my own because I'm a tight English bugger. And I come from Middlesbrough. Where we come from, we fight to the end. And this piece of crap is not going to beat me. So I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. End of part 1. Oh no. What I've decided is, you know how Adi has shed talk, John has John's blether. I'm going to have one called Blardy Bollocks. And I'm just going to put them in their own little their own situation part on that YouTube thing, their own playlist. And I've done one, and I'll call it Blardy Bollocks number 1. Anyway, that's it. Got some sausage, egg and chips upstairs waiting for me. And I'm hungry. Answers on a postcard, please. See you later. Take care.